2 dramatic wins in stoppage time so far. What does that mean for this team psychologically?
It means that the team always believes in fights all the way to the end. This a very good group of guys that are very committed to the program, to the club. They understand what they represent, and they're willing to push themselves all the way, to the last second. And it was shown, I think in every match that we play so far, that the guys are going to try everything that they can all the way to the end. Sometimes it's going to go our way, sometimes it does, will not. But one thing that they will never give up, trying, and that's a good thing from the team.
Looking for your first road win, is there anything different you're going to do to approach this game?
No, nothing different. We play, every game with the same intensity, every game the same way. We don't care if we go home or away. We really just try to study the team that we're playing, try to put the guys that we feel that are going to be the best at the particular game, and then we go to whatever we have to go or play at home with the same mentality.
What challenges does FC Edmonton pose for you?
I think like every other NASL club, they're all very difficult teams. Every team is tough to play. Every game is difficult. They are physical. They are just the same as a team that doesn't give up. And I think they're gonna give us a tough game. So we have to be prepared and get there to be able to hopefully do very well and bring some points back.
Were you worried at all? There were a few times, even just before San Antonio scored last weekend. I mean, there were a few times where it looked like there was a bit of a communication breakdown in the defense. Are you worried about that repeating itself this weekend? And if so, have you worked on it at all this week to improve?
Yeah, that's a good question. We had a video this week to show those plays and why we got into those situations, and that's exactly what we did in order to fix and correct the few mistakes that we made during the match. I think it was a strong match for us, but nevertheless, as you said, they created chances. San Antonio had possibilities to be able to score more goals, so we have to do a better job collectively to be able to not allow teams to create those opportunities. And we did this week the necessary work to try to correct those mistakes.
Do you feel like the back line that you had for that game is kind of one that with Hunter, I guess the Hunters on the wings, and then Carlos and Roberto in the middle? Is that kind of what you want?
It's tough to say, that's going to be the back line for every single player that is on the roster is a competitor to play, and they're all good players, and anybody can step in the field and do the job. Maybe if the team, the back four, is one that you try not to change as much, but everybody can step in there, and whoever looks best during the week is the one that is going to play in the back four.
Do you feel like after the first 4 games of the season now the team is pretty match fit and the guys are able to go 90 with no problem?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a totally different situation than preseason. When we went to England, we still were, kind of, building up the base for fitness. Now we reach a stage in which I think we are closer. We're still, growing physically in fitness, and but we're very content where we are right now with the players. Today we felt that we wanted to give them a little bit of a easier day for them to recoup. We've been working very hard, so that way they can be mentally prepared and physically prepared for the weekend.
Heading west to Edmonton this weekend, what challenge does that club pose for you?
I think for a lot of us, we aren't familiar with the field and the turf and that dynamic, which definitely complicates things. But yeah, I think we got exposed a little bit last weekend, so I think the challenges are just to kind of clean up as many of those things as we can in the back. Yeah, that I think sums up a lot of it.
How do you feel personally being the team's #1 stopper after spending a few years where you were the backup and you kind of were biding your time? Yeah,
it's great for me. I think it's tough after not playing for a while, the timing and some things like that, you can lose a little bit, but now that I have a few games and was able to kind of make some saves last game, nice to get a little confidence going. But at the same time, never want to get comfortable or assume it's there.
Coach has been, making a few changes along the back line over the course of the season, whether it was bringing in Roberto or just trying different options out. Do you feel comfortable with that, knowing that you've got a little bit of a change of guard in front of you?
Yeah. I mean, I think you always have to be ready for that, whether it's injuries or the coach having preferences with different guys. It's nice if you have an idea a day or two before, so you can really start to get a little chemistry. But I think we're sorting it out pretty well.
Without a road victory yet, do you think it's important to get it sooner rather than later?
Yeah, it's tough to just. I think it's taken for granted how easy, or how difficult it is to win on the road. So I think we have to go in there with the mentality that we're going to fight for at least one, and if we can get three, that's great. But I think if anything, I always try to focus on, shutouts on the road, and if we can do that, it puts us in a much better chance to, get a goal at least, and maybe squeak away with three. Yeah.
And Edmonton's a team at the bottom part of the table, so was the Scorpions, and I think at times you played down to the competition. What do you need to do to
Yeah, I think it's very important that you never, I try not to look too much at that stuff, especially this early. It's unfair that after 3 or 4 games to just assume a team is that much weaker than anyone else. So I think the second you take anybody for granted is the second they punish you. So I think hopefully everybody on the team is taking them very seriously, because if you don't, the worst can happen.
And talking about Marco Senna, I'm from Brazilian media. I would like to know how important is Marco Senna to the team. He's a player and famous in Europe. How important is Marco Senna?
Yeah, with his experience, some of us think we have experience, but then you see his resume, and it's very humbling to see where he's played and everything that he's done. So he's great. He leads by example, very professional, and I think he's very important to our team with the way we play. If teams pressure us too high to get him the ball, he can, make you pay with balls behind the back line and spraying it. So yeah, he's been great, and I think we're only seeing a glimmer of what he's capable of. And I think as we get a little more chemistry and kind of flowing a little bit more, I think we'll really get to see him in his prime, which I think all of us are excited about.
What is the key to getting a little bit more chemistry at this point?
I think it's just game after game. You see some ugly situations. I think, I think with every game we're getting a little bit better, and maybe some things, some bounces going our way, and trusting ourselves a little bit more. I think at times we look for it first and it's on, but we hesitate. And I think if we just go with our gut, we all know we're capable of playing very good soccer. So I think just have to trust it and go with the first instinct. Go.
I was going to say, it was a nice last game for Diamar and Henry to both get their first goal.
Yeah. I think scoring's been a little bit of an issue for us. So I think the more guys you get scoring, the more confidence all of them can get into kind of trusting themselves along that same thing, and really taking it to goal and showing, because we have many guys that are very creative and capable of doing it. So I think the more you see a diverse group of guys doing it, everybody gets a little more confidence moving forward.
I think I have a lot of good expectations for me, for my team. One of the first one is to be champion with Cosmos. So I think we are doing a good job at the beginning of the season, and I hope still we do work to be a champion at the end of the season.
Was it nice when you got on the field? Did you kind of have a feeling that you were feeling good, and then maybe you would end up with a goal, and then obviously you did?
Yeah, of course. I was outside warming up, waiting my chance, and I was thinking about this, because when San Antonio scored, we need one more goal to save the game. So I was just waiting to Gio call me, and I think the group do a good job. I just tried to do my part, my best in the field to help the team, and hopefully it's what we do, and I'm happy because we had the 3 points.
How big of a confidence boost is that for yourself, knowing that you finally got that first goal and keep going forward with the season?
Yeah, I think it's a good feeling for me. It's a good stuff. I think, and I hope this is just the beginning of what I can do in this season to help my team, and I hope to get more goals, assistance, what the coach needs for everyone, and I hope this is a good start for me and for the team.
What have you learned from Gio? I mean, he was played at the highest level, scored a lot of goals. What has he taught you in the last few months that you've been with the club?
Yeah, I think the best thing I can get from Gio is how we score, how how get the mentality when you are in front of the goalkeeper. So he every time is talking with me, even before going in of the game. He said like keep calm, the ball is coming, and when you get the chance you have to score. So I think this is helping a lot because he knows what we need to do, and he is always talking with us about this.
And I mean, from watching the last game, it looks like the chemistry between the forward and midfield and everybody, you guys are pretty interchangeable, and it looks like on and off the field everyone gets along. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think this team is more the team. Yeah, we are like a family, and everyone is happy inside, outside the field, and I think this is good because it's what Gio want. He want to we just not stay at top or at the left or the right. He want to switch every time, and I think if you play happy is what you can transmit for the other people, and what we try to do every game.